If you hood educated, I'm glad you made it. Allow me to unfold my knowledge, wisdom, and understanding from a hood brother's point of view to all of you here, there, and everywhere. Now check me out. Now, before I get into this demonstration, allow me to apologize for my last video, y'all. I had that volume up a little bit high. I didn't check it like I usually do, and I want to apologize to y'all for putting that video out there like that. I mean, y'all still can hear my voice, but I like to have everything balanced, you know what I'm saying? And being that y'all are my audience, y'all are the hood educated residents and guests, I gotta do better, you know what I'm saying? I can't just be putting, stuff out there where y'all gotta try to, to listen and all that. I don't like doing that. I'm not perfect, you understand what I'm saying? But I strive to be. So I wanna just extend my apologies to y'all for that right there. Now, let's get into this demonstration though.
So I received a phone call late Saturday night from a concerned friend of Nolan's, basically telling me the information.
Now, you heard him say that a friend of Nolan's called him around 11 p.m., right? Now, the first thing that come to my mind is this right here, y'all. The boy said that they left him with the girl, right? He told them, Nolan told them, hey, I'm gonna get a ride from somebody else. This is according to what the boys are saying, his friends. Why would you call the Coast Guard or the Cajun naval people? Like, why would you call them and say, hey, I think my friend is missing? You ain't called the mama. You ain't called nobody that would have known if he was missing. You see what I'm saying? But you call the Cajun Navy, the Coast Guard. Why would you call them? It's almost as if you have information that no one else has. Y'all see what I'm saying? In order for you to call the Coast Guard, the Cajun Navy, before calling anyone else that could say, hey, you know what, hey, he's missing, where he's at. You don't call nobody else, but you call them. How did you even know that he was so-called missing? You see what I'm saying? These are the questions. But not only that, y'all, the cold-blooded part about all of it is this right here. You mean to tell me, if I believe that my friend is missing, why would I call the Coast Guard? You see, why would I call the Cajun Navy? Is he missing in the water? And that's why you calling them to say, hey man, look, go check the water. Like, how do you assume that? You see, like, how do you get to that point right there? If my friend is missing, oh, he got to be in the water. He got to be. That's the first person you call. You don't call the parents. You don't call the homies or none of that. You don't call Javon. You don't call none of them. But you call the Coast Guard, the Cajun Navy, to say, hey, I think he's missing. What do you know? How do you believe or how do you assume that he's in the water? You see, because that's what they do. They search and rescue. If somebody's in the water, you call the Coast Guard. If somebody in the water, you call the Cajun Navy. So how did that boy even assume and even entertain in his mind that Nolan is in the water? Y'all see what I'm saying? But not only that though, because remember, all the little boys said, hey, you know what? Hey, Nolan was over there hollering at that girl. You know what I'm saying? He said he gonna kick it with her. We finna head back to land. He said he finna kick it with her. At that time, look, I was young once before, right? And I done went to the house parties and stuff like that. We done snuck in girls' houses while their parents was on trips or over here, over there, and all that old type of stuff, and had parties and all that. We all was young at once upon a time. Now, if I seen my homie chopping it up with a female, then all of a sudden he come up missing, everybody like, hey man, what Nolan at? What Nolan at? My first thought gonna be like, hey, you saying he was with Katie, boy? Yeah. He with Katie, you know what I'm saying? He making that love lotion, man. You know what I'm saying? They done snuck off somewhere. You see, Those is my thoughts. So my first thought, if he don't show up at the while, is we need to contact Katie. You see, we left him with Katie. So we need to get at her and say, hey man, hold on, my homeboy was with you. We seen him talking to you. You understand? Then y'all disappeared. Have you seen him? Where he at? But they don't do that. Warren don't do that. Warren called the Cajun Navy as if he know that Nolan is in that water. And we must think, how did he get there? How did he assume that? Instead of assuming, hey, I seen my homeboy with the girl. That's where he at. Now, look, let's be 100. Like, would y'all think that way? You know, would y'all, if you seen your homie chopping it up with a female, and then all of a sudden he disappeared, would y'all think that he in the water? Would y'all think that, I gotta call the Coast Guard, man. The last person he was with was her. Whether they on the island or not. You see, your first thought would be like, hey, he with old girl, they snuck off. They at the hotel, they in one of these rooms, they in the car. They doing something. You see, you be kind of be proud about your boy, like, hey, he knocked old girl, hey, you know what I'm saying? He finna, hey. Not, hey, man, he in the water. Y'all see what I'm saying? That don't sound right. That don't add up to me right there. That boy Warren knows something about that water. And he knows something about Nolan being in that water. And to be honest with y'all, I believe all of them know. But I believe this right here. I believe that whenever Nolan did get in that water, whoever is the leader of that group that everybody is scared of, punked all of them and said, y'all better not say nothing. This is what we gonna say when we get back to land. Y'all better not say nothing. And they all submitted like, okay, bro. Knowing damn well that Nolan in that water. Cold-blooded demonstration. Ben Crump said Nolan was arguing about his phone. He wanted his phone. Ben Crump said in that video right there, they did something with the audio and you can clearly hear Nolan arguing about his phone. Now, here's my thing right here, y'all. Warren ends up with the phone that Nolan was arguing about. Now, I would like to believe that this is possibly an iPhone, so it costs probably $1,000 or something like that, right? Whatever the case may be, it costs a couple of $100. Being that he wanted his phone and didn't get his phone, and then Warren ended up with the phone, how come Warren ain't arrested for stolen property? I mean, because look, obviously, Nolan did not give him permission to have the phone if he's on the island arguing about his phone. Why hasn't Warren been arrested for stolen property? He obviously took it. He got the phone. Nolan don't got it. You see? So how did he get the phone? Like, those are the type of things that we need to know, that the police need to be putting out there, and they ain't putting it out there because I believe they don't know how he got the phone, or they don't care how he got the phone. But being that he got somebody else's property that don't belong to him, who was arguing, upset about wanting his property, that should tell you something. He took it. And why isn't he being arrested for that? Why isn't he being charged for that? Now look, I don't know about y'all, right? But throughout my life, you know, in my criminal history, right? Whenever there's a murder or a killing, the detectives, the police, they do a thorough investigation. And what I mean by that is stuff like this will get you arrested. What is you doing with a dead person's phone? Regardless of what you said, Regardless of you saying, hey, we left him at the thing and nah. You got that person's phone. What is you doing with that? And then not only that, what y'all saying, y'all getting caught up in y'all lies. Things don't look right. The little girl, Katie, said, nah, he left me and said he went with them. They got that information. The police got that information because Katie talking. She told them that. So being that she told them that, they should be looking at Warren as a suspect. Like, well, what is you doing with the phone then? And how he end up dead? You see? Nah, we're going to arrest you for something petty. And once we get you in that county jail for this petty arrest, we're going to pressure you. We're going to put that pressure on you. How many times have we seen it go down like that? Where the police understand that, look, we don't have enough for the murder right now. Or we don't have enough for a major charge of a crime. But we do have evidence for a minor charging of a crime. And then they go charge the person. Put them in the county jail. Put them detectives on them. Apply that pressure. Why isn't that happening here? The man got stolen property. Why isn't that happening here? You see, it's not making no sense. It's as if they really don't give a damn. Because if you had a dead man's phone, your ass gonna be locked up. All that, this my friend and all that, they'll say, okay, that's your friend, we understand that. But Katie said that, he said he's gonna get back on the boat with you guys. She said that she left him, or she got on her boat, and he said he was going back on the boat with you guys. So which one is it? You said that the last person you seen him with was Katie, but she said no, she was with him, but he left and said he was going to get back on the boat with you guys. Now he's not on the boat, and you have his phone. And we have video footage of him being upset trying to get his phone. Yeah, no, that's suspicion. Look, they do us like that all the time when they pull you over. It kind of looked like you were swerving a little bit, and you look suspicious. You're walking down the street, you got on all black, you got your hood on. Hey, you look suspicious. Why these boys ain't looking suspicious to the police with all these contradictions? You see what I'm saying? It don't make no sense. Not only that though, y'all, because we got to look at it as a whole, right? These young boys was drinking. They all on the pictures and everything. They got alcohol in their hands, right? They drinking. That's against the law when you're underage. You see, who provided them the alcohol? Where y'all get that alcohol from? Oh, y'all was drunk? Y'all was drinking? Usually when kids are drunk, they do dumb stuff. Did y'all accidentally kill y'all friend? What happened? Y'all drunk. You see, ain't nobody been arrested for that. Ain't nobody been interrogated for that. But not only that though. Being that these kids came back to land and deleted all their social media. The parents deleted their social media. Social media is deleted from Nolan's phone. And you mean to tell me ain't no arrest warrants been out for their social media accounts? Ain't no arrest warrants been out for them to search that boat that's supposedly been towed in and was taking on water and all that? You see? No. All that should be taking place right now. Somebody done lost their life. They are no longer here. Everybody's a suspect when something like that happens. I mean, when it come to us, come on. We suspect number one. You see? Why these boys ain't? They suspicious to me and to everybody else. Why the police don't see it that way? Why the police is giving them a little, these guys know that. No, that stuff is suspicious. Them boys need arrest. They should be they should be combing through their social medias right now. They should be combing through their phones right now. You see? but they not. So what that tell us?
Tell us, Josh, a little bit about the area and the island. What is it like? Is it normally crowded?
Absolutely crowded. A lot. July 4th weekend, nice, pretty weather. The water was calm. That allowed a lot of vessels to be out there. Hundreds of vessels, hundreds and hundreds of people. So it's hard for me to believe, in my honest opinion, that nobody saw anything.
Did y'all hear what he said? This right here is the Cajun Navy guy, right? This is the top, right? This is their main guy. The man said that, although, the waters can be dangerous, but on that island, the waters is not dangerous like that on that island. The waters are calm. It's cool. You see what I'm saying? And not only that, he said in his honest opinion, he don't understand how no one seen what was going on if he was drowning. You see? So if he can see that, and if he can even say that in his honest opinion, he know that area more than any of us do that are not from Mississippi, that ain't never been to Horn Island. He know that area. He know that island. And for him to say that, it tells me this right here. If he suspect that someone should have seen what was going on, why haven't the police suspected the same thing as Josh, the Navy Cajun guy? Why they ain't suspecting that? Being that this right here is an investigation, right? It could be criminal. It is suspicious. That's all they need, right? Probable cause, right? All they need is suspicion. And being that how everything went down and all these peoples are around, how many people have they interviewed that was out there, that seen everything that's going on around them? Where is those interviews, those interrogations? Why? You see what I'm saying? Everybody that was at the tip of the boat, wherever they said Nolan was at with his friends, those peoples need to be, hey, look, hey, we just want to interview you real quick and just let us know what you seen. That's all we want to know. That's it. You guys seeing him talking to Katie? Okay, yeah, that's fine. We just want to interview and just, see what you guys see. That's it. Where is the interviews? You see, this right here is a suspicious death. Why ain't nobody being interviewed? You see what I'm saying? Not only that though, I'm sure some of the people that was there are probably sitting here waiting like, why the police ain't came and tried to chop it up with us? We don't want to just go to the police station and say, hey, we don't want to, look suspicious or really be involved in this type of stuff. But if the police come and talk to us, then we are compelled to tell the police what we seen and what we know. But they not doing that. We're not hearing that. We're not hearing that from the family. We're not hearing that from the lawyers. We're not hearing that. You see? So, in being that we're not hearing that, and being that the police is not doing that, they ain't putting out no search warrants, they ain't searching nothing, they ain't interrogating them boys. Look, the FBI probably gonna have to come in this demonstration. That's what's gonna have to happen. See, in Mississippi, that's the Mississippi criminal judicial system and stuff like that. The FBI always got to come in and do the work for them because them boys right there, they tight. I'm talking about in Mississippi. Hey man, look, we know everybody. Everybody know everybody. Man, we ain't finna send your kids to jail for behind that. What you think, man? We ain't finna. I've been knowing these people all my life. I went to school with them. I'm not finna imprison their son. I'm not finna make their mama look bad and then this she's the judge and Nah, hell no. The FBI gonna have to come in and do a real thorough investigation. You see, because Mississippi hands too dirty. They got a bad criminal history, like I said in my last video. They got a horrible criminal history when it come to us. I don't know about people of European descent, but I know of people of African descent. Yeah, no. They got a bad criminal history when it come to us. So, I believe that in order for us to really get a full drawing as to what happened and what's going on, I believe the FBI gonna have to put a foot in this thing right here. They gonna have to step up to the plate, because the way that they doing things right now down there, the Mississippi police down there, the sheriff down there, and all that, the way that they doing things, it seems like they don't even give a damn. They don't even care, and they got all the probable cause and all the suspicion in the world to care, but they don't. This is Hood Educated, Not Lame Related. Peace and love, and y'all take care of yourself out there. If I said anything that caused you to think, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already. And if you're feeling generous, please make a small donation to the channel. Peace and love.